What's going on, y'all? It's Taylor with y'all 106.7. We are here today to talk about National Police Week that is happening May 11th through the 18th. And here with me today, I have Randy Sutton with the Wounded Blue. Randy, welcome to y'all 106.7.
It is a pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Thank you for having a cup of coffee with me, like we're old friends. What y'all do here is so cool. I'm just going to let you take it away. Let's talk about the country music and the aspect of how it ties into the Wounded Blue and how this all came together, because you have been a cop for many years.
Sure thing. Well, I did 34 years as a police officer. I spent the last 24 years with the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, and that was a very, very interesting place to be a cop, and it was a great career choice for me. But it also led to my understanding of some things that I really found that I was shocked about, and that was how police officers are injured, how they're treated once they are injured in the line of duty. Very few people know the facts about this, that last year and the year before, more than 60,000 American law enforcement officers were physically assaulted in the line of duty. Last year, more than one a day was shot in the line of duty. And so far this year, we are on track to be even more police officers than that have been shot in the line of duty. So we're facing a tremendous war on cops. And the war is not just physical. It's emotional, psychological. We're seeing, police officers being treated so with such little respect and dignity. And that leads to emotional and psychological injuries as well. But one thing that actually brought me here to Nashville is something I am so excited about, and that is our Guitars for Cops, not only promotion, but this is like a movement now. I was so fortunate to run into some amazing people at Spinning Plates Media, Josh and Kurt, who have embraced the Wounded Blue. And it's funny how this actually came about. A couple of years ago, there was a country concert, huge country concert, going to be done in Huntsville. And we're talking some of the biggest country music stars in the world coming here. Actually, it was in Huntsville, but it came through Kurt and Josh's Spinning Plates Media. And we're talking Dierks Bentley, Winona. It was a who's who. Well, this was a concert for celebrating the life of George Jones, and Nancy Jones, his wife, was putting this on with Kurt and Josh. And 2 weeks before the concert, 2 Huntsville police officers were shot. One was murdered, and the other was severely injured. And Nancy Jones told Kurt and Josh, "I want to do something for those families. I want to help those families." And so they came up with a brilliant idea to raise money. And what they did was they announced that all those artists that were at that concert would sign guitars and personalize them if the people wanted, and to help raise money for this family, for these 2 families. And so we raised pretty close to $100,000 that we then gave to those officers' families. And I got to tell you, it was amazing. Well, that idea has now grown, because many of the country artists that were there continue to support the Wounded Blue, and they said, let's do more. So a bunch more signed guitars for us, and then last Christmas we launched the Guitars for Cops promotion, raised over $100,000 from an appearance that I did on Fox News, and now even more country artists saw what was happening and said, we want to help police officers too. So I've got literally a who's who. I'm just going to read a couple of the names, but it's pretty shocking that all of these country artists said, we want to play a role as well. Brian White, Craig Morgan, Crystal Gale, Darryl Worley, Don McLean, Janie Fricke, Jason Aldean, and I could go on and on and on. But anybody that is interested in supporting law enforcement and getting an incredible guitar signed by one of these amazing artists need only go to guitars4cops.com, guitarsforcops.com. Get your guitar. It's only $1,000, and it'll be going to help raise money for injured and disabled officers across this nation.
That's incredible, and that's quite a roster of names that you have there. So every guitar is $1,000.
Every guitar is $1,000, and every one of those guitars that is sold literally has the potential to save a life.
Mm-hmm. So how does that make you feel, being in the line of duty and then now giving back in this way?
Well, you know, this was not the pathway that I had thought my life was going to take, but I too came to understand the issues when I became disabled in the line of duty in my police car, and my own department tossed me aside. And the stories that I have would literally shake you to your core about law enforcement officers who have made immense sacrifices. In fact, just before the show today, we were talking here in the studio about a police officer down in Texas who was ran over by a tractor trailer. Devastating injuries. How he survived is amazing. The tractor trailer actually tipped over on him and crushed him and dragged him 100 yards down the road. And what did his department do? They fired him. They lost his leg. He had tremendous internal injuries. And after he was in a coma for months, the department said, here's a nice medal for you, draped it around his neck and said, you're fired. And so the Wounded Blue wound up playing a massive role in his life. We gave him a new prosthetic leg, and now we are rebuilding his home because, of his injuries. And also he's got 2 special needs kids. And he was tossed aside, and that's why the Wounded Blue plays such an important role. And so, this has been a tough time for law enforcement. We're seeing the disrespect being shown, the number of injuries, the shootings of police officers. So when the country music world embraces our community, it is literally so heartening for literally cops across America, because this promotion is more than just raising money. It's raising morale. To know that people in the country music community care, it's priceless. So the Guitars for Cops is an incredible way to show, what, I want to join this movement, this effort. I want to show the law enforcement community that I care as well, and then get a phenomenal piece of memorabilia that most people will never have the opportunity to get. A signed guitar by Dierks Bentley. Are you kidding me? Mm-hmm. And I've met many of these people. And I know their sincerity when I watched them signing the guitars in Huntsville and had the opportunity to speak to them one-on-one, Jelly Roll and Dierks Bentley, and they said, how can we help? Well, give me that pen.
They're ready to do it. There's no hesitation. And, I think that's what's so beautiful about country music. It is a community, and we love our community.
It is. It truly is. And I've always been a country music fan. So I was a cop in New Jersey for 10 years before I went out to Las Vegas. And then when I joined the Las Vegas Police Department, well, that is the West. And I started listening to country music, and I got to tell you, it changed my world. So I love country, and I love the country artists, and having the opportunity to interact with them in this role as the founder of the Wounded Blue, it really lifts my heart.
So what is the goal for Wounded Blue this year? Is there a number that you're trying to reach, Guitars for Cops, or is the sky the limit?
Well, we presently have pretty close to 300 guitars signed by this myriad of artists. So my goal is to sell every damn one of them, and use that money to change lives, save lives, and show the people of America that not only do their cops care about them, but the country music community cares about them as well.
Mm-hmm. And where can people go to find this? Is it guitarsforcops.com?
Yes, that's it. Guitars, the number 4, cops, guitarsforcops.com. And if they want to know more about the Wounded Blue, thewoundedblue.org is our website, and they can learn about us. And anybody out there that wants to connect with me personally, because there's often questions. I'm very easy to find. I'm Randy at thewoundedblue.org.
Thank you so much for being here, Randy, and for everything y'all are doing with Spinning Plates. We appreciate you, and thank you for.
I appreciate you having me. Thanks, and Nashville, I love you.
Is there anything else you want to add that maybe we didn't cover today?
People can support the Wounded Blue simply by going to our website, thewoundedblue.org, and seeing that big red button that says donate, whether it's $10 a month, whatever you can afford. Believe me, every penny goes to programs, and it's very important that I mention this, because everybody is suspicious about charities. I take no salary. I live on my pension, and none of that money goes into my pocket at all. It all goes to services.